Hello there and welcome. I'm Rebecca Weaver. I'm going to be talking about solving linear equations with variables on both sides and some distributive property. So here we go. Let's look at our first equation. We have 2x minus 4 equals 1 minus 3x plus 5. Quite a mess here. So what I'm going to look at doing first is I'm going to look at just moving the x's all to one side so I don't have them scattered all over the place. I prefer to look at positive x's, so I could move the 2x over to the right by subtracting 2x from both sides, or I can move the minus 3x over to the left by adding 3x. I like that better because that's going to get me a 5x on the left-hand side and it's positive, and I feel better if I have a positive x. I don't have to, but I just like it. So I'm going to write down 5x minus 4, and I might as well go ahead and add the 1 and the 5. I have to anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So now I have 5x minus 4 equals 6. I'm going to move my low-hanging fruits at minus 4. I see I'm going to slide them over to the other side by adding 4 to both sides. That's going to give me 5x equals 10. Now I'll take that 5x equals 10 and I want to move that 5. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5, leaving me with x equals 2. Now you know what I want to do next. I need to check it. I need to see that 2 times whatever I chose for x, which is 2, minus 4. What does that equal? I'm going to do the left-hand side and then I'm going to do the right-hand side. Well, I found that that equals 0. So I do the right-hand side. It better equal 0 as well. So when I plug in the 2, I get 1 minus 3 times 2 plus 5, and that'll give me 1 minus 6 plus 5, and that will give me 0 as well. So I know that I'm right. Let's look at another one. I have 2q plus 6 equals negative 6q plus 6 minus 4q, blah, blah, blah. Well, the first thing I want to do is I have 2 q's on one side. So over there on the right-hand side, I have a negative 6q and I have a minus 4q. And I'm just going to go ahead and add those. So you'll notice that I went ahead and did that. I got negative 10q over here on the right. So you know what I want to do next is I want to move some q's around because I want them all on one side. So I can either move the 2q or the minus 10q. I'm going to choose to move the minus 10q because that way I can add 10q to both sides. I can get positive q's. I'll have positive 12q plus 6 equals 6. Next thing I'll do is I'll move that plus 6 that's over there on the left. I'll subtract 6 from both sides, leaving me with 12q equals 0. There's one of those 0 guys again. 12q equals 0. I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And that's going to give me, whoops, I have x. I meant q. q equals 0. So we'll check to see if this works, plugging in a 0. 2 times 0 plus 6 equals 0 plus 6 equals 6. So that means left-hand side equals 6. So when I plug in a 0, the right-hand side that also better equals 6. And it does when you plug in that 0 and do that computation. So let's do one here with the distributive property. So I have this 2 times the quantity x minus 4. Go ahead and get rid of those parentheses. Let's multiply that out. I got 2x minus 8 equals negative 12. I'm going to move the minus 8, and I'm going to end up with 2x equals negative 4. Writing that down, I just need to move the 2 over to the other side by dividing both sides by 2. I get that x equals negative 2. And you guessed it, I'm going to check to see if this works. I'm going to plug in a negative 2 in there and make sure that it equals negative 12. And it does. So I need to make sure that I write in, let's put in that in with my ink. I need to make sure that I know that that is a negative 12 that I didn't write in there. Okay, it's written in there now. And it equals what's up here. So I'm happy with that. All right, if you need any more help, you be sure and shoot me an email, and I will see you next time. Bye now.